Have you ever noticed how different you feel when you actually get dressed? Not just throwing something on, but put a little effort into how you look. It's not just in your head. Science shows that what we wear changes how we think, feel, and even how others see us. Today, we're talking about the psychology behind dressing up and why it's not vanity, it's vitality, and how small wardrobe choices can shift your entire mindset.
Yes. And so today, join us as we go from wearing to styling the basics that are already in your closet without spending any money. Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Erin. Welcome to Beyond the Scale, the podcast.
Hi, everyone. All of our episodes have videos, so if you're interested in watching, we're on YouTube and Spotify. This episode has some fun try on videos. Thanks for tuning in.
I think at this point in our lives, right? Like as we feel young, but also are feeling our age as we're kind of in this midlife transition where there's a part of me that feels like I should be wearing everything that I'm seeing my, 20-year-old daughters wear. I'm kind of realizing that midlife is not about chasing trends, but really kind of just wearing clothes that make me feel good and that fit my current body type, no matter if it's cool or not. And so I love this idea that you suggested of just taking a couple basics in our closet and showing everybody like how we can just change our mood and our attitude just by giving it a little style.
As we age, we go through different parts of our lives where at one point you might have had all work clothes and very few play clothes per se. And then now you might be in the stage where you're like, for work clothes, I don't wear that. I wear comfortable clothes. So it's reevaluating what you already have in your closet and bringing it up to the next level.
Yes. And I know I follow a few people on social media and a few of my friends that are really big into like capsule wardrobing. And I feel like even some, stores will sell you, I think even Amazon right now has a capsule wardrobe that you can look on for their Prime Day sale, where it's just a few basics, but how you mix and match. And it's just popping into my head. What was that store when, gosh, when our girls were little, I feel like Gymboree, was that the name of it? Where right, like,
Yes.
where the whole like even though there were patterns and animal prints and all of these different things, the idea of walking into that store was that your toddler, everything matched. Right, leggings could go with different tops and sweaters would go with those pants because all of that color theme went together. And so, although we're not going to necessarily create a capsule wardrobe this morning, we took just a couple of basic, a white t-shirt and a white button down and tried to show a variety of styles based on, our different personalities and also maybe the different stages of life we're in.
Most everybody has those pieces. Most everybody has a pair of jeans. Most everybody has a t-shirt or a button down shirt. And the thing about it is we chose white because it's a basic, but if you don't have a white one, you have, let's say you've got a blue one or a patterned one or the jeans, you're saying, "Oh, I don't wear wide leg jeans." Don't get mired in those details. Use what you have. This is strictly just to use a little bit of creativity and find ways to take what you already have and bring it up a notch. Make you feel good when you get dressed.
All right, I'm here to kind of just show you how to style a white button down, maybe for work. So right now you can see it's oversized. I do have some dress pants on with a front seam to kind of elongate the leg and just a little winter kind of fall booty, a little heel, right, to dress it up. But right now it's still just kind of frumpy. So a few little tricks and tips to kind of zhuzh this up a little bit. So although I do have the front seam going down the leg you would think to elongate it, right now I'm still getting cut off with the length of the shirt, probably at the widest part of my thigh, so not very flattering. So one thing that you can do is just do what they call like a little French tuck, which is maybe just unbutton the bottom button or two, depending on what you're comfortable with, and just doing a tuck on one side. Now this side is showing and elongating the leg, and although this is still cutting me off, Now the eye is drawn this way to the longer side. But now the sleeves aren't really doing me any justice either. So what I would say is always just cuff your sleeve, whether you're using a trick or if you have a more structured shirt, you can do kind of like an oversized cuff. But what you want is you want the sleeve to kind of end at your narrowest part. So, you know, is this here? Is this here? You keep rolling. Either way, it's that optical illusion that's drawing your eye away from the frumpiness and giving you a little bit of shape. All right, so I can decide, am I happy with this? Do I want to do a different tuck? Another option that you can do is, again, depending on what you're comfortable with, and this being a little bit more sloppy of a shirt, you can kind of just decide maybe a twist. And so what I can do is undo the bottom button and then take and just kind of reach over underneath, tuck it in, this side, tuck it in across and flounce. And now there's just a little bit of a twist in the back. I can just fold that under. All of a sudden you can kind of see this is starting to come together, but still maybe not quite work ready. Plus a little statement piece. Kind of keep it here. Maybe I'm even gonna toss the hair up and just like a little claw clip to kind of dressing it up a tiny bit more, maybe for work, a little more business. And then last but not least is the bag. So to stick with my gold and black. Right, probably everything that we tried on could be swapped out for, you know, a pair of dress slacks or even leggings.
Hi everyone, I'm back. I have the dark denim high-waisted wide leg jeans from Ann Taylor Loft. I'm wearing a boat neck t-shirt from H&M, and I have the H&M belt on with that. I'm just going to throw a few accessories to kind of jazz up what would be kind of a simple outfit of just a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. Right now I'm putting on a statement necklace. Yep, they're coming back. I bought this one several years ago at the J. Crew outlet. I'm going to add this to add a little bit more color, add a little tension up around the face. I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to add a little cardigan jacket over that. Always good to have that third layer. You never know when you're going to be cold or hot. It's a nice layer to be able to take off as well. Now I'm adding the hair ties to adjust the sleeves, to style the sleeves so that they are smudged up, exposing more skin. And here we go. We are putting the final touches on this outfit. Do you think that this is something you could wear to work, maybe to run errands, maybe even an evening out, switching out the shoes to maybe a pair of heels? And we're going to add a purse to go with it. This is a monochromatic outfit in navy blue with a touch of white. We've got these cute little flat shoes. What do you guys think? Is this something that you might put together? As you can see, this jacket is a nice length. This look relied more on accessories than tweaking of any of the items.
I even saw a gal style a white button-down shirt with sweatpants, and she looked adorable. She took a pair of sweatpants and a sweatshirt and then threw a blazer over it, sunnies, jewelry. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay, wow, how cute is that? So that's the thing. We need to look at our clothes a little bit more creatively and think, okay, I can take this. How many different ways can I wear this?
Here's the gal that styled those sweatpants and shirts so cute.
Jogger and sweats, but make it work friendly. Girl, got you! So we are doing jogger, because this I know everybody has, right? A white shirt, because everybody has that now, right? And a sweatshirt. If you have the first one, you're supposed to have the third one, so everybody has that too, right? First of all, you are going to grab the shirt's collar dollar and take it out of the sweater. Button it a little bit. Now let's grab the bottom of the shirt. Let's button it to make it look a little more put together, and then adjust the sweater on top of it. Let's accessorize. right, I am doing a pollen ring here. I don't know the brand of this one, but I got it in a small boutique in Paris. Let's pull up the sleeves a little bit, and we're doing a black watch on this side and our 7 elastic gold bracelets on the other side. I love that some of us have the same accessories. I don't know, it makes me so happy. Let's do some chunky earrings. Do you know what? Let me take this thing out of my hair because it was just to be able to do my makeup. Let's grab an oversized, it has to be oversized blazer. I went for this grayish because I feel like gray is so good to tone down every single outfit because it's a boring color. Who said that? Anyways, let's pull up our sleeves again. We're doing some straight trainers. Let's do some in and out sunglasses. I'm doing a brown oversized bag. Pairs so well with navy, and I'm ready for work, but I'm a cool with an L girl.
All right, now I'm back with the same jeans. I did choose a t-shirt this time, and I settled on the black shoes. So I could just run out and run around like this, but again, maybe not the most flattering, maybe even a little frumpy, and definitely not look like I had any thought to this. So with just a few simple styling tips, we can go from wearing it to styling it. So one thing again with the shirt, I think that a V-neck is flattering on most of us, but this would work with a crew neck as well, depending on the sleeve length. Again, not wanting to cut or be too tight on the biggest part of your arm. This kind of is a swoopy is not probably what they call it at the store, but a high-low, so that I could, you know, cover my bum if I was wearing leggings or something like that. So I either will just do a front little half tuck by tucking in a little bit in the front, again, to kind of narrow that waist. Another trick I like to do is just to take the hem and put it through a belt loop. And so all I'm doing is just pulling it through as tight or as loose as you want. You could tuck it up underneath if you'd like, but now it's giving it a little bit more of a style. You could even, you know, tie it in a little knot if you'd like, but sometimes that just is adding a little bit more bulk to the midsection instead of kind of disguising it a little bit. So this is already kind of taking it up a notch. Again, I could throw on the hat for a little easygoing style. Same crossbody bag, again, just to make it simple, to show we don't need a ton of pieces in the wardrobe to still be able to change up the style. But now I want to show you, just with a few little hacks, how we can take this and amp it up even more. All right, so we're going to ditch the bag. I haven't decided on the hat. I think we're going to keep the hat, just again to show the versatility of how casual. I know not everybody feels comfortable throwing on a baseball hat, so I will show you again without the hat and with, like, you know, sunglasses or something instead. So I might just gonna change this to a front tuck, and this is where I'm gonna add the belt for, again, a little bit more polished of a look. I'm gonna keep the tennis shoes, but this time we're gonna go back to the chunky necklace. Obviously, you can change this up however you'd like. Maybe it would just be with a watch or a bracelet, but just, again, a little bit more style. Might be a little, oops, these are pants, cut that. And now I'm gonna throw on a blazer. Little hack for you. When I purchased this blazer, I felt like the arms were a little tight. There's a lining in the arms, so I just cut the lining out of the sleeves. It's still on the inside of the jacket, but just taking that little bit of extra made it not so tight against the sleeves. So this could be a little bit more, I'm dressed up, I don't care, I'm a little more casual, but kind of making it a little fancier, a little more street savvy. Maybe I'm downtown shopping in Chicago.
The power of accessories and having a bad hair day, a hat covers it all. Okay, here I want to show you how to do two different versions of a faux wrap shirt. The first one is using a brooch. So what you're doing is you're pulling the side seam out and then pulling the opposite side of your shirt over to the side seam, and you are attaching the two sides with your brooch. You could use one brooch, you could use 3 brooches, just to with how when you pull the fabric to kind of give it a pleated look, as you can see. This way it gives you a little bit of a cinch in at the waist, and for anybody who's not super comfortable with tucking their shirt in, this gives it a fun asymmetrical closure. If you look all over the stores, these wrap shirts are really in for fall. Okay, this second look is using a safety pin, and I didn't find a ribbon, so I'm using a white shoelace. Now with this safety pin, I picked kind of a big safety pin. I would actually pick a smaller one than I did here, so it would be a little bit less noticeable. But you're going to take it and lace the shoelace through your buttonhole and then over to the safety pin. Then you're going to cinch it over for the closure, and then just kind of play around with blousing it through the layers to give it more of a cinched in look through the waist. So here we go, we are pulling the shoelace through and cinching that side over, giving it an asymmetrical closure, giving yourself a little bit more of a cinched in waist. This is a great use for a larger shirt that you might have outgrown. This is actually a men's shirt that I thrifted from Goodwill for about $3. So I kind of love the fact that I can give it that look that when I look at the wrap shirts in the catalogs, they are running about $75, and I was able to give it a kind of fun faux wrap shirt 2 different ways. Let me know if you try it. These are some fun faux shirt examples because I know not everybody is comfortable wearing their shirt tucked in. So I wanted to show you that there's some different options out there at different price points and that you can get creative.
Showed in our videos, when we put the items on, we just put them on. When you put your clothes on and then you look in the mirror and then you start to think, well, I saw this on Pinterest and it looked so different on the girl on Pinterest. Why doesn't my outfit look the same?
Yeah.
What would you say the difference is, Jen?
Oftentimes the people that I'm trying to emulate on, out of a catalog or on Pinterest aren't my body type. Right? Like,
Yes.
I'm not a 6'2" model that's, 100 pounds wearing a size 2. So to try to take in that, I also don't have the expense, right, of maybe some of that higher quality, maybe a more expensive name brand wardrobe. But at the same time, I need it to fit the reality of real life. I'm not walking down a runway. I'm not on the streets of Paris. So what's carpool line look like? What's going, to Aldi look like, while still feeling like me, but just amped up a little bit, right? And I love that your opening statement was about the psychology, because there is something truly powerful about how our clothes can make us feel, how we carry ourselves. When I was starting even my weight loss journey, one of the most impactful parts of that was being actually at a funeral, wearing clothes that didn't fit me. And I think I actually had like 2 pairs of, spank type undergarments on, and just how miserable I was at that place, and how upset it was internally for me, because I felt like I was so self-focused when I should have been focused on the loved one and the reason why we were there. But instead, it was just, can everyone tell I'm sweating? Can everyone tell I'm wearing 2 pairs of Spanx? The how uncomfortable I was in my clothes carried through to my outward appearance. And so the psychology can be really important on this.
Bring up a valid point, because for many of us, when I get dressed, I have kidded with my husband, I'm putting my armor on. That little bit of like giving yourself a self-confidence boost that whatever you're about to hit, you can do it. And I will say that when I don't get dressed every single day, somebody says, "Oh, do you dress like that every day?" I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like,
And it might only be for a few hours, and then I'm going to go back to
exactly.
sweat.
And a couple days a week, but not every day. But I will say the days that I do versus the days that I don't, the difference I feel putting on what feels comfortable for you. What feels comfortable for me may not be for you, but trying something, working what you already have and just trying it in a new way. I think we both had a little bit of like, okay, what are we going to do with this? I had a moment like I stood in front of my closet and we all know I have a lot of clothes. I was like, oh no, I don't know what to do. Really? It just had a moment. So there might be a little bit of like discomfort at first of like, oh, how am I going to do this? So I hope that the videos of Jen and I trying out some new things will make you feel more comfortable to try something new with what you own.
Okay, so hopefully you all got a little bit of ideas, a little bit into, just even Erin and I's personality and style and dress. Erin, are you wearing the white shirt that you were styling right now?
No, I am not. I'm actually, I think they were called Dickies. It's actually a collar with
A
like only a
faux.
partial shirt, like a faux shirt. So all you ladies out there in menopause and hot flashes, it's a little bit cooler today. I wanted a layered look, but I knew that I was going to be sweating if I actually wore a full long sleeve shirt underneath this top. And so yeah, this is not it's faux and I love it. And it was funny because I had totally forgotten. I even had it in my closet. I saw this young girl on Instagram who just discovered that they have these on Amazon. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I have that in my closet. I should pull that out. So I want to say they're like maybe $10 or something. I'll put a link in the show notes. And again, we are not sponsored. So take a look if you're interested. If not, fine.
I love that. Well, and just another way to take that basic staple by and dressing it a little differently for the season, throwing it under a sweater or getting your faux collar out. All right, hopefully you all got a few ideas and a little glimpse into just Erin and I, our styles and a little bit of our personality. So we're going to ask you for a little styling homework. We are hoping that you will walk into your closet with a different perspective, pull out those favorite slacks, t-shirts, maybe even just a little black dress. Try it on, look at yourself in the mirror, add a pop of color, a favorite shoe, earring, statement necklace, whatever makes you feel great. And then notice your mood. See if your energy or your confidence changes, because midlife isn't about reinventing yourself, but about reconnecting with yourself. So thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another woman who's ready to feel good in her clothes again. And remember, you deserve to feel amazing no matter what you're wearing.
Okay, so we want to invite all of you to, if you feel like it, give us a selfie of you in discovering a new outfit with your basics. We have a private Facebook page called Life Beyond the Scale. Go ahead and join us and throw up your selfie. So we would love to see what you put together. So thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.